Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in with me. I appreciate it. Um, Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Hey, Richard. Hey, I'm glad. I almost, about 20 minutes or so ago, I was almost ready to go ahead and send you like a little bit of a reminder, but I'm glad you're here. That's good. Um, I don't know what to talk about. I really don't. I just want to mention I've read everybody's comments. Um, if I haven't commented back to you, um, again, it doesn't mean I didn't see it, didn't read it. I thank all of you for your comments as always. Um, the only thing I know to do at this point on this particular live, it actually came by request by a couple of people. So, if you want to ask me something or anything at random, that's pretty much what the topic matter is today. And it can be from the sublime to the ridiculous, more or less. Um, oh, let's see. Okay. Well, that's an easy one. I like that idea, Richard. Anything is a start. Well, I moved here in January of 1983. I had lived in a small town about 60 miles west of here for about 4 months called Lake City. Completely different town now. It's really grown up since 1982. So I came here in January of 83 and I lived matter of fact where I'm at right now. I'm only about 3 red lights from the street that I grew up on. As uncanny as that may sound. But I moved here in 83. I went to school here. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Lived in a mobile home for 19 years. And then after that, we decided to get a house with my mom. Um, and then, the house that we had gotten, it was like a dream come true for my mom because she never thought she would ever live in a 4 bedroom, 2 bath house. So lived there. And then unfortunately in 2005 she passed away from hepatitis C and cirrhosis of the liver. No, that's not my life in Jacksonville, but that is. But you know, and then I lived here until about 2012, and then I moved from here and went down near Tampa in a little town called Zephyr Hills. I lived there for about a year. And yes, it's the same Zephyr Hills as in the water. Let's see. Is the water from your kitchen's faucet safe to drink? Um, Honestly, about the only thing I use tap water for is maybe to cook with, like, like frozen vegetables in a saucepan, or if I make a hot beverage like tea or coffee or even hot chocolate. Now, hot chocolate, I like to do something a little bit different. I don't like a straight water hot chocolate. I like to put a little bit of milk in mine, if not all milk. I've always been partial to a milk hot chocolate. Let's see. Oh, Sylvia, thank you. You're watching me on your 52-inch television. Oh my gosh, I bet I look amazing on there. A TV star? Oh, you're too kind. Um, I I don't know about that. I know, I love to come on here and talk to you guys and give you guys a plethora of information, from what I know, and if I can be of help. And if I reach one person, I've done my job. That's how I look at it. Um, Richard, okay. I'm wondering if your tap water, okay, I'm trying to think. You're in Green Bay, so you have those lakes up your way. Whereas down here, my water that I have in Jacksonville is hard water. Yeah, plus being near the ocean, the Atlantic is not too terribly far from me, maybe a half hour or a little less. But Jacksonville is not too bad of a place. I mean, it's not what it was back in the 80s. Well, then again, life in general is not like it was back in the 80s. I mean, it was a totally different slate time. I look at those times when I revert back to it's almost like the 1950s as much as things have changed. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. Lake Michigan. All right. That because I know Lake Superior, Lake Erie, Michigan. There's probably one or two other ones. I just couldn't remember which one you were near. Okay. Yeah, so that's actually better, I would think. Like I said, I've got the ocean. And but as far as drinking, like regular drinking type water, no. I tend to go and buy bottled water, like the 16.9 ounce, like Poland Springs, Zephyr Hills, Nestle Pure Life. Um, Another couple of good waters I like on the pricey side, Fiji, and it has to do with alkaline that's in the water, and Evian. That's another one. Let me see. Green Bay is approximately 30 minutes from Green Bay. Oh, Lake Michigan. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, Lake Michigan is 30 minutes. Okay, I got you now. Okay, that's about like me. Yeah, I'm probably a good 25, 30 minutes away from Jacksonville Beach. Let's see. See if I see any more of you guys' comments. Well, let's see. Where else can I go with this conversation? As you guys already know, that I do enjoy all different types of music. You guys know that. And what I spoke about on that other live, that's just a drop in the hat. I mean, it goes a lot further than that because in my book, no song is wrong. Um, I don't discriminate when it comes to music. I A majority of my music is black artists, but I do like white artists too. I would say my ratio is probably like 75-25. Let me see. Oh, am I in a safe neighborhood? Um, it's not too bad. I will tell you this. Let's use the road that I grew up on. Uh, you know, for almost 30 years, which is like I said, three lights up. Um, I'm not big on it anymore. They've put a lot of lower income housing in there. Um, the quality of people that are on that road now have gone down. There's a lot of drugs and prostitution and things like that. So the road that I grew up on that I once loved is not really anymore. Would I live over there? Probably not. I'm just near it. Let's see. Yeah, she did, Naomi. And like you, Richard, one thing we do share in common, we both like our old country. And I loved the Judds. Why Not Me, Grandpa, Mama, He's Crazy, Give a Little Love, Have Mercy. Let's see, what am I leaving? Oh, Love is Alive. Um, Love Can Build a Bridge. That was one of their last ones that they did. Let's see. I'm sure I'm leaving out. Oh, Rockin' with the Rhythm of the Rain. That was in there. Um, they were fantastic. I just loved. I just loved their music. I mean, I still listen to it. I have it on my I've got it on my phone, as a matter of fact. I have it in my MP3. And I also have a lot of their songs saved on Spotify. I've got an extensive music library on there that I created for about the last 10 years. There's about 5,000 songs on there. So, yeah, me too. I mean, I like Winona by herself. I know when in 92, when she come out with No One Else on Earth, it took me a little while to get used to her because I was so used to, the two together. But No One Else on Earth by Winona is probably my favorite. And I think she did another one called Tell Me Why. That was decently good. Um, but yeah, Richard, as far as old country goes, like I said, my dad grew up in Tennessee. As a kid, I grew up with all the older. So when it comes to the older country, Charlie Pride, Merle Haggard, George Jones, Tammy Wynette, Lynn Anderson, Marty Robbins, Hank Williams Sr. See, I'm trying to go down the list of different ones. That was one side of it. Um, oh, Farron Young. That was another. And no, we're not related. I just thought I'd mention that. But Farron Young, Webb Pierce, stuff like that. Yeah, she does. Winona's voice is very strong. I've always been a fan of it. I love it too. Um, you know, but I would have to say of all of the songs that the Judds did, and again, it's hard to really narrow down one favorite, but I've always been partial to Why Not Me. I just, you know, I could sing that song word for word pretty much. I mean, as much as I've heard it. But let's see. And then I myself, um, when it came to music, to come back to that, I started losing interest in top 40 music right around 92. And that's also about the time when all the grunge music was coming in, like Nirvana and all that. Now, there's only two songs by Nirvana that it's okay, it's all right. Come As You Are and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Other than that, I can't really um, get along with it. And then what I did after that is I got away from the top 40 and I got into a lot more of the country at the time. Let's see. Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. How did I leave that one out? That was one of their big ones. Yeah, that is beautiful. That is a beautiful song, Richard. I like that one too. And that's even on my MP3 or in my library. I don't know how I left that one out. Um, oh, I remember. Okay, wait. Is okay. I know the one you're talking about. That is a good one. Let's see, Sylvia. Were you born in Italy? Yes, Sylvia. Actually, I was born in Catania, Sicily. Uh, I'll catch you up a little bit. My birthday's October 31st, 1974. Yeah, I was born on Halloween. My due date was actually October 16th, but keep in mind, back in those days, um, the doctors were not as accurate with due dates. So if you took me being born, my due date based on today's standards might have been 7, 8 days, could have been five. There's no telling. And back then, it's not like it was today. Now, parents can find out immediately if they're having a boy or a girl. Not back then. You had to wait. Um, do I have dual citizenship? Yes, I do, but I've never used it. And I haven't been back to Catania, which is the city that I was born in. Keep in mind, my dad was in the military, and he wound up being stationed in Sigonella twice. Once when my sister was born, and then he went back again a second time. He got transferred back. And then the second go around, that's when I was born. And then by the time I was born, though, my dad's military career was kind of on the tail end because he got transferred to one more place, Rota, Spain, and then he retired in 1981. And then I stayed there in Rota for about another year, and then that's how I came to the States. So that's to give you a little bit of information about me. Um, have I thought about ever going back overseas? Yeah, but I also have a I also have a fear of flying. I'll be honest with you. I have a fear of flying, and plus with all this COVID, I could just picture myself being in an airplane, with people around me, tight knit, wearing a mask for hours at a time. I'm not against the mask, but I don't love the mask, and I could just see myself. I mean, I would go cabin crazy. I don't know how well that would work out, but my favorite way of traveling, though, I'm going to be honest to you, is by car. I know you can't go across the water in a car, but my favorite travel is car because you can see a lot more. Yeah, yeah, it is awesome. Like I said, but I really don't have any family to go back to in Sicily, though. I've got cousins that live in Naples, but that's about it. Um, Richard, alligator, yeah, alligators. I'm scared of. I'm with you on that one. Um, don't like snakes. Never have been a fan of those. I've had dreams about those, and they just wake me up out of a dead sleep. They scare the mess out of me. But let's see. Hey, Rose. Good that you could tune in this afternoon. Good to see you. Um, let's see. Another thing I have a fear of, Richard, since you mentioned alligators, one thing I have a fear of, it's not an animal or amphibian or anything like that. I have a fear of knives. I don't know what it is. Think about something though. I know all of you know that the true meaning or definition of Halloween is not what it became. It's not the ghoul and the satanic and the blood and the horror. It's not any of that. But I have a fear of knives. I always have. Let me see. Yes, Richard, we do have a ferry service. It's not here. Um, I would have to go. I don't know, about 40 minutes out. There is a ferry that will take you from one side of Jacksonville over to another. It'll take you aboard a military base called Mayport. And there was a time, me and a good friend of mine a few years back, we wanted to go and eat at a seafood restaurant. I love my seafood. And it came highly recommended from a person we knew. And the food was fabulous. My two favorite fish, if I'm going to have filleted fish, my two favorite is cod and flounder. I do like shrimp. Crab, lobster, never acquired a taste for it, but I've had it. Um, but we do have a ferry service. It's not a big one though. It's like I said, it's over on the other the other side of town. At the time that we took it, it was like $5, and it's a nice ride. You drive your car up on there, and and you just go across. I know this much. It's say, especially in times like these, I would want to take the ferry service to that part because it is a little bit of a drive. I'm just going to tell you. You know what, Richard? I'm going to give you an idea. Go on YouTube, and you actually have the ability to search the city of Jacksonville, and this is what it'll do. It's going to give you a video. I'm sure there's several, but the one that I found, it shows a car going down the interstate. It'll take you through downtown. It'll show different places. It'll take you through. Now, to give you a little bit of an idea, I'm going to give you some areas of Jacksonville, and this might be a little help. And you can always revert back to this video if you can't remember what I said exactly. But um, where I'm at is on the west side of Jacksonville. You have downtown. There is a south side, which the south side is kind of like what will take you over to the beach. The beach is considered the east side, but it's known as the beaches. And you also have the north side. And then within that, you've got little rural areas of Jacksonville like Springfield and Dinsmore, and things like that. And that's found downtown. But if you ever want to, kind of give you a feel of Jacksonville, definitely, type it in, and there's several videos. I myself, since you feel that way about Jacksonville, I wouldn't mind touring, doing a YouTube search. I wouldn't mind touring Green Bay, Wisconsin. Um, yes, even though I share the same name as an ex 49ers football quarterback, yes, true. But Green Bay Packers is one of my favorite football teams. Aaron Rodgers and of course Brett Favre once upon a time. So I wouldn't mind just, and I think I'll do that. I'm going to look up Green Bay and just start, you know, just watching the little videos in it, and it'll take me around. And it'll do the same for Jacksonville, just to give you an idea. Let's see. I have not. I've never been to Wisconsin. That's actually one. That's actually a place I want to visit. I would not mind visiting Wisconsin, and I'll tell you why. I'm thinking it was just a TV series. I don't think it really exists up there, but I was a fan of Happy Days at one time. I still like the show, but I mean, I've seen just about every episode. And of course, we all know that Happy Days was based out of Milwaukee. I always wondered if Arnold's Drive In really existed up there. Just like Laverne and Shirley, they were in Milwaukee. Shots Brewery, I wonder if that really existed. Or is that just strictly, television? Because, television can make anything feel like real life. But no, Richard, I've never been to Wisconsin. Now, I have been all up and down the East Coast. I've been to Georgia. I've been to Tennessee. Let's see, I've been to a little bit. Let me see. I've been to Mississippi, a little bit Alabama. Um, just trying to think of other. Never made it to Louisiana, although I wanted to see that. I don't know why, um, but no, Richard, I would love to see. I would love to see Wisconsin at some point. If if it ever permitted, I would gladly come up there. Yes, been to New York twice, two times. Now, the first time that I went, I had to go to one of my favorite retail stores that's no more, J&R Music World in Manhattan. I wanted to go there. I ate at a fabulous, it's still there. I ate at a great delicatessen type thing called Sarge's Deli. And the food was absolutely superb. It was fantastic. Uh, yes, Sylvia, I have been to Pennsylvania. I've been to Harrisburg. I've been to Hershey, as in Hershey's chocolate. I've been on Hershey Avenue or whatever it is. That's the coolest street. That's another one you can look up. The street lamps, the little lights are in the shape of Hershey's Kisses. Uh, I've been by the Hershey's chocolate plant. Let's see. Where else? I've been to Allentown. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I've kind of been like middle. and eastern. I've never been to the western side, like Pittsburgh, over that direction. I never made it over there. Richard, it's funny that you mentioned Janet. You want to know something? She and I have actually spoke. I didn't know her then. I met her in 2016. When I went to New York, it was 2008 and 2009. Would you believe I was literally less than 1 mile away from where she lives? I never knew it. I did not know. I will tell you this: if I had known or had met Jan 08, 09, or prior to that, I would have absolutely have stopped in and said hello, how are you doing? And a little more than that, maybe have a coffee or a drink. Brooklyn, I've been I've been through it, but never actually went anywhere. But I haven't been to the Bronx. Never been to Harlem. Um, not I never been to Queens. I'll tell you where I wanted to go. Everybody says, you hadn't missed anything. It's not a big deal. I wanted to go to Times Square. I never made it. I never made it. Drove by Times Square, but never actually went in there and, actually walked around and saw it. Like I say, people say, Steve, it's not a big deal. I mean, they say, do you really want to walk around to a McDonald's where it costs $5 for a hamburger? Well, a McDonald's hamburger around here is going to cost you $5 now. So, and I'm not big on McDonald's food anyway. I never really have been. The only thing I really ever liked from McDonald's, their coffee's not too bad. I do like their hot pies. Their McFlurries, things like that. Their desserts, they're good. Yeah, Richard, that's actually where I went. That's where I spent a majority of my time when I did go to New York, was Manhattan. Battery Park, Central Park, which is absolutely beautiful. I would love to go back there. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. Um, the Upper East Side, okay, yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that, and I'm going to give myself away. So I've been told. Now, as you all know, Janet and I were friends off camera, and she always said, "Steve, now keep in mind, I've lived in Florida for 40 years. I never lived in any other state. I did briefly live in Kingsland, Georgia for about a year, which is about 45 minutes by car from here, or give or take. Um, she always said that I reminded her of an Upper East Side doctor. Okay, I'll take the compliment, but I've also gotten this. People say, Steve, how is it that you've lived in Florida all your life, well, pretty much since I was almost 8 years old, and you don't have a Southern drawl? I said, I can't explain it. I don't know. But everybody thinks that I grew up and lived in the North and came down here to live because they just don't picture me as a Floridian. They really don't. I've gotten, where do people usually think I'm from? Sylvia, it's funny that you mentioned Pennsylvania. I have gotten that. I've gotten Maryland, Delaware, um, not the Carolinas because that's got Southern. Um, but up, in that region, I've gotten Indiana, Illinois. That's where people think because of my, the way I sound, that's what they think. But no, I've lived in Florida for 40 years. Oh, see, okay. All right. See, Sylvia. All right. You can see me as a Pennsylvanian. Yeah, and I have been to Philadelphia. Let me. That's another place I failed to mention. I'm sorry. I have been to Philadelphia as well. Funny story about Philadelphia. Me and my dad were on the interstate, and the way the signs are drawn up, you have to think fast. It gives you the interstate emblem, town, town, and you got to decide which way you want to go. We got lost. We got lost, but we found our way out eventually. But looking back, it's funny, but at the time it wasn't. Um, oh, Richard, I like your way of thinking. An East Coast state. I never thought of it like that. Um, well, what it is with Florida is people from up north, they want to escape the cold weather, the snow and it being cold. So what they do is they sell their homes and they move down here. Of course, the cost of living is cheaper. You don't have to pay state income taxes. It's a state income tax free state. Um, do I like Florida? Sure. Um, the only thing I don't like about it, I don't like the mugginess and I don't like the humidity in the summers. Other than that, I'm not too disappointed with it. It doesn't snow here. I think I've only seen snow here one time in 40 years, back in '89. It snowed one time. And it's in the history books. You can look it up. December 23rd, '89. Oh, Sylvia, you live in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, and you get lost. Oh, okay. Well, don't listen. Okay. Speaking of getting lost, now downtown, um, there's a lot of one-way streets. I get lost down there, and I've been here 40 years. There's certain parts of town I get lost. Now over here, unless it's something that's come up within the last 9, 10 years that's been there when I lived here, I pretty much know my way around. I know the streets. I know, I can tell people where to go and all that. Can you live in Florida on a fixed income? I can, and it's not easy. I am on a fixed income. It's funny that you mentioned that. I am on a fixed income, and because of if it wasn't for that, having my food card, that's pretty much a big help to me. It's hard. It's hard, and like I said on one of my videos that I just did a few days ago, I spoke about a budget, and that's what I do. I'll take a piece of notebook paper, I'll write down my amount, and then what I do is within a certain period, like in the first half of the month, I'll have a couple of things due, and I'll figure out how much I want to put on each thing, that type of thing. And then what I have left, I'll take that and divide it into how many days is left. And then if I need to live off any money, whatever that number divided into comes up, I'll stay within that number. What I don't spend will carry over. If I spend nothing, then it just builds up from there. Oh, you are? Okay. Richard, it's hard being on a fixed income. Believe me, I know. Because you get one set amount of money for that month and you got to live on it. And then when you got to figure in all your utilities and all your outgoing monies, then that just makes it, it's tough. Um, one of the big things is that hurts people when it comes to their finances. Um, People tend to spend too much money. They like to blow their money on frivolous things. They like to dine out, which I really don't know why you want to dine out. And I'm just going to say this: um, dining out is not the best thing in the world. I would much rather cook my own food because I know what's going into it. So I go to a restaurant. I can go to a nice restaurant, you know, say something like a Fogo de Chao, which is a little bit upscale uh, steakhouse. Yeah, I put in my order. The ticket goes back. What are you doing to my food? When you bring it to me, what do I know what you did? So let me see. So I don't, I try to be frugal and conservative with my money. I don't like the word cheap because I don't consider myself cheap. There's a difference between cheap and frugal. Oh, Richard, I actually do have a roommate. Um, Honestly, I have to tell you, I got the best roommate in the world. My roommate is also my best friend of almost 30 years. And the way that I met him is my dad and we joined a bowling league, and I enjoy bowling. I bowled on a league and I carried a 178 average, but I haven't bowled on a league in about 13 years. So when we bowled on the league in the next town over from here, not too far away, I bowled against these two guys. One was a brother and the other one was like a half brother. And that's how I met my best friend that I have now through them. So he had gone through some hard times back in the early 2000s, like 2012, 2013, 14, 15. He's going through some hard times. So we had lost contact and I met back up with him and I said, look, why don't you come move in, live with me? Oh, but Steve, I snore. I'm afraid I'm going to wake you up. Trying to be considerate of me. I said, look, let's give it a try. This was April 20th of 16. So he finally decided to come stay the night the next morning. Well, how did I do? I said, well, A being the best, or on a scale of 1 to 10, I would, 10 being worst, I would say a 2 to a 3. And the rest is history. So my best friend and I, not only are we best friends, he's also my roommate. And I don't have to worry about somebody coming after me with a knife or some whack job, so to speak. If I get a roommate, I'll lose some benefits. Oh, okay. Okay. No, Richard, it's probably better that you don't. And especially in times like these, you can't, you really don't want to risk losing anything. You want to try to get as much as you can. So, oh, thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, like I said, I've had a lot of, so I thought we're friends along the way, but a lot has happened between me and my best friend. Like I said, I knew his mom and dad. He knew my parents. And when my mother passed away, his mom got me and my dad a cemetery plot in a private cemetery. And she did so much for us that, and I am somebody who, if you do something for me, I promise you I am grateful and appreciative of it. And in some way, form, somehow, I will show appreciation back. I'm not somebody that stands there and says, gimme, 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 gimme. I don't do that. I show appreciation back somehow. And I felt by him moving in with me, that was my way of, you know, saying thank you to his mom for doing what she did for us. Okay. No, Richard, better to just leave it as it is. You don't want to alter anything, and then you can open a can of worms, and it's best not to do that. So yeah, like I said, guys, I just wanted to come on here, run my mouth, just say a few things, catch up with everybody, and I have read all your comments. If you don't get it, like I said, I have read them. If I haven't acknowledged you, that doesn't mean I've ignored you, but I have read all that was said. And one of the things that I do like, coming back to one of my recipes, the one that I mentioned about the angel food cake and the pineapple, yeah, that really is a blank canvas. One person responded to me and said you can use lemon pie filling. That would be good. Cherry, blueberry. It really is a blank canvas. You can put whatever you want in. It's kind of like cooking an omelet. You can have an omelet 3 times a day and it be different because you can change it up each time. Oh, thanks, Richard. I appreciate that. I love them too. I just need to get on here and do one about once a week, once twice a week. And of course, I also do premieres as well. Um, but I love to interact with you guys. I find it to be fun. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring this live to a close. It's been fun. I'm glad all of you could tune in this afternoon with me. And, it's been great. Um, like I said, love y'all. Thanks for being here. Means a lot to me. I don't want to sound like I'm desperate. I'm just being honest. But let's see. Don't like Hawaii pineapple. You know what? You know what? You make a good point. I noticed that the pineapple that you prefer, I've had it too. It tastes better. I don't know, something about it sweeter. Or, yeah, the Hawaii pineapple to me tastes more dull, or I can't describe it, but it's all right, guys. Be on the lookout on Tuesday. I've got a good recipe Tuesday coming up. I'm not positive as to what it is yet. It might be a dessert, could be an entree. Don't know. But be on the lookout for Tuesday, and I'll see you guys then. Have a good day. Bye.